In today's video, we are covering how to complete the square, or complete the square as it's called. So completing the square is just another method that we use to solve a quadratic, and it is to put in a format x plus a squared plus b, where a and b are integers. So we can first start on a question, and the first question is solve x squared plus 4x minus 11. And the first step is write what a, b and c is. So a is equal to 1, b is equal to 4, and c is equal to minus 11. So that's the first step that you got to do. And now we want to half our b. So half of b is 2. So we're going to have brackets x plus 2 squared. And the reason why we do this is because when we expand this, we get our x squared that we want, and we get our plus 4x. So we can expand this x plus 2, and you get x squared plus 2x plus 2x plus 4, which gives us x squared plus 4x plus 4. However, we don't want the plus 4, we want minus 11 instead. So we keep the x squared plus 4x, or we take away the plus 4 that we have. So we can cross this out. Because we crossed it out, we can subtract it from the x plus 2 squared on the first line. So now that's gone. But we want the minus 11, so we write minus 11 now. So we get x plus 2 squared minus 4 minus 11, and that gives us x plus 2 squared minus 15, and we have completed the square. Our a is 2 and our b is minus 15 from the top right corner of the screen, the two integers. But if we were to solve it, how would we do it? So to solve this, we must equal to 0. Now we rearrange this by plussing 15 onto the right side. And when we do this, we have x plus 2 squared equal 15. Now to get rid of the squared, we square root 15. So now we're just left with x plus 2 equals square root of 15. And when we square root a number, you know that we have a positive square root and the negative version of that. So we have x plus 2 equals plus or minus square root of 15. And finally, x is equal to minus 2 plus or minus square root of 15. And now we have successfully completed the square and solved this quadratic. Now we can move on to the second question. And this question is solve x squared plus 8x plus 5 is equal to 0. So a is equal to 1, b is equal to 8, and c is equal to 5. And that's our first step. And the next step is we have to half b, and half of b in this case is 4. So we have in the brackets x plus 4 squared. And as you can see, if we expand this, same as before, we have the x squared plus 4x plus 4x plus 16, which is x squared plus 8x plus 16. We want the x squared, we want the 8x, but we don't want the plus 16. So we subtract 16, and we can cross this out. And now, because we have subtracted the 16, we can do minus 16, and we want the c, which is our plus 5. So minus 16 and plus 5 from the c. And that gives us our final answer, which will be x plus 4 squared minus 16 plus 5, which is minus 11. and we have completed the square. A is equal to 4 and B is equal to minus 11. Now we can go and solve this. So it's the same steps as before. X plus 4 squared minus 11 is equal to 0. X plus 4 squared is equal to 11 as we plus 11 onto the right side. We get rid of the squared by square rooting 11. And then we move 4 to the right side by subtracting 4. So we get x is equal to minus 4 plus or minus square root of 11. And that's the second question done. We'll now move on to the third question. This question says solve x squared plus 3x minus 7 is equal to 0. A is equal to 1, B is equal to 3, and C is equal to minus 7. Now to calculate this, we must half the B as shown in the previous questions. And half of B, we can write as a fraction 3 over 2, or you can write as a decimal 1.5, but it's up to you. So we have x plus 3 over 2 squared. Now when we expand this, we get x squared plus 3x plus 9 over 4. If you're confused with what I've done, expand it yourself using your hand. And then now we must subtract the 9 over 4 as we don't want that, but we want the x squared plus 3x. So we can cross out the 9 over 4 and we'll write x plus 3 over 2 squared minus 9 over 4. And then we add our minus 7. So our final answer, we got to do minus 9 over 4 minus 7, and we get minus 37 over 4. And that's our final answer. A is equal to 3 over 2 and B is equal to minus 37 over 4. Now to solve this, we just make it equal to 0. So x plus 3 over 2 squared, and that's going to equal to 37 over 4 by rearranging. And then we square root 37 over 4 to get rid of the squared. And the final step is to get x on its own, we subtract minus 3 over 2 onto the right side. So we get x is equal to minus 3 over 2 plus or minus square root of 37 over 4. So you can do this question by using fractions or decimals, but it's up to you. And that's the last question done. If you have any questions regarding this topic, please feel free to ask me in the comments below.